Hello everyone and welcome to Zach's Garage. Today you join me with something very special, a 2016 Bentley Bentayga. But it's no normal Bentayga, as you can probably tell. This is a Mansory. Right, so as you guys can see, this is really no ordinary Bentayga, but we have to start somewhere, so let's start with the front. Now obviously Mansory focus on carbon fibre. Now it's not just general carbon fibre, it's things like body kits. And what you can see on this is it's taken the 9 out of 10 Bentayga to an 11 out of 10 thing like this. I don't even know how to explain it. Now I know some of you, or whoever knows of Mansory, knows they've made some fairly controversial cars in the past. But this is one of my favourites that they've ever made, because it's not really in your face. I feel like if Bentley came out with a car and did this to it, it's sort of how you'd expect the Bentley to be, not just a juiced up Touareg. But let's start somewhere, the bonnet. So as you can see, full exposed carbon fibre. Now obviously all of the body kit is carbon, but some of it has been painted over with the matte black finish. The whole car isn't wrapped, it is painted matte black. As you can see, carbon lip. Even the number plate guard is carbon fibre. So pretty crazy there. But as you can see, the bonnet, the whole front end, the grille, and there's also multiple bits on the side and the rear of the car. And then we'll get to the really special part, which is the interior. So let's head to the side of the car where we can talk a little bit more about the features. Let's start with the side of the car. So if we start at the front, you have the front spoiler, or the front lip, with the canards on the side. Now it's probably not that aerodynamically beneficial for a Bentayga, as it's about as aerodynamic as a wall brick, but nonetheless the arches, obviously it's a wide body kit. These are all custom made, it's to how the customer prefers it, and it looks so aggressive. It's probably not going to come through on camera, but it's such a wide stance, and it, as I said, it's not overly done, it's not in a wacky colour, it looks how it should. But so the side here, so we've got carbon, exposed carbon here, exposed carbon splitter down the side, and I tell you what, it's just incredible. So all of this from here down is carbon, all of this there is carbon, all the way down to the side, the Flying B logo just there. And if we look here, you've got the carbon wing mirrors as well, with the tiny little Mansory badges under the lacquer there, which is very special indeed. Moving further towards the back of the car, we've got, once again, the body kit flows with the wide body. Down here you've got Mansory, and obviously all of this is still in carbon as well. So further back you have the rear spoiler with the big Mansory logo here. All of this, as I say, I know I keep saying carbon fibre, but this is what Mansory specialise in, and they are so good at it. So let's move to the back. Now as you guys can see, there is a lot of aerodynamics involved within the body kit. Now obviously I think this is more for aesthetics, but nonetheless you do have to wonder, don't you, if it does actually benefit the car. But the reason why I said there's a big part involved within the back of this car are these, the exhaust. It has a Mansory exhaust kit on it, and believe me, this thing sounds awesome. So without further ado, I will now go start up the Bentayga. Now, time for the interior, the bit that I'm most looking forward to. So as I mentioned before, there is carbon, but inside of the interior is white carbon. Now that's something I haven't seen. Obviously it's featured on the door panels, the steering wheel, and all over the dash and the center console. It actually looks really smart. It almost looks as if it's aluminium, sort of, like it gives it an aluminium effect, but then when you look at it closely, it's carbon fibre. I mean, how cool is that? Now, the actual features from Mansory include the sport steering wheel. This is a fully customised steering wheel by Mansory. It's moulded to whoever owns the car. And then, well, more features include the Mansory sound system that you can see down here. Also, in carbon fibre. And then you have the quilting. Now, the stitching throughout this car is just phenomenal. It's something that, honestly, if you showed me this car, I'd hope Bentley would be able to do this for me from factory, because it's just really nicely done. It's not overly done. It's not in a bright colour. It's in black again, but you've got Alcantara all over with the diamond effect. And the headliner, well, there isn't one because it's a blacked out sunroof. So just awesome. But instead of rattling on, I'll let you guys see a little bit of B-roll so you can see just how exceptional this interior is. On an A road in the Mansory Bentayga, and what better way to check the exhaust note than on an A road? Yep, approved. This thing sounds awesome, but without being silly, the first thing we feel, the steering wheel, the molded steering wheel gives a really nice feel. It's not something you'd think about in something like a Bentayga because, well, you don't have a sporty feel to it, but this definitely does. I mean, it is a sports SUV, isn't it? So it gives you a great feel. The steering is still very responsive, but I'm not going to bore you with Bentley facts because you can find that in any Bentley review. So let's talk about Mansory. So the silver carbon is, well, it's all over, but it's in a really smart way. It's not in your face, it's not too bright, but when you look down, it's really nice to see. You've got the sort of the central indicator in black, which looks really nice as well. And so driving feel, they haven't actually done anything to it. You can have an engine upgrade, which gives you, I believe, an extra 200 brake horsepower. If you need that, I don't know. It depends how fast you want to do your laps around Harrington, doesn't it? But realistically, this car is truly something special because, well, go look up all the things that Mansory do and you will see how much effort and how much work goes into the craftsmanship of these cars. Now, as mentioned before, the exhaust is built by Mansory and it's not overly loud. It's something that I think they got very right because you could easily make this car very drony. They made it so that it's not deafening, but it also gives a really nice bark to it. So where better place to take it than a tunnel? So I'll catch you guys when we're in a tunnel. Right, without further ado, and back to civilization. So, as I mentioned, this thing barks, and when I say barks, well, you guys just heard it. It's ludicrous. Between gear changes, it's weird. It sounds aggressive, but doesn't feel it. You still can't feel the gear change. So, well done to Bentley on that. But as I said, I'm not going to go on about the driving of it because you can watch a normal Bentayga video and learn all about that. I want to talk to you guys more about the Mansory. Now, the seats. I believe these seats are possibly the most comfortable Bentley seats I've ever sat in, and the reason for that isn't the fact that they're like Bentley seats. I know it sounds really strange, I can feel the design of them, I can feel the stitching. It's sort of, you can constantly feel it on your back, which is just a nice feeling, I think. So now we're heading into a bit of a tighter town. It could be a bit more challenging to operate, so I will catch you guys when we're on a bit of a more normal road. Right, we're now on a country road, and as mentioned, I don't really want to talk too much about the driving style of this car, but one thing is exceptional is the ride quality. This road, I drive it every day in the Focus RS or whatever I'm driving on the day, and it's awful. It's one of the worst roads I've ever been on, but this car genuinely just eats it perfectly. Now, it is a 4x4, but it's nice in the fact that it doesn't throw you around. You can feel the bump, sure, but it's not overly like jerky. Yes, I'm sure a Cullinan is probably smoother, but then you're paying considerable amounts more. And especially as the Bentayga is a more sporty SUV, I think as a Bentayga, if you said to me, or if anyone said to me, what SUV would you buy? I'd buy a Bentayga, 100%. I haven't driven the Urus yet, but I would like to. Now, after that drive, it is pretty incredible, as you can tell. The sound of it is exceptional, and with that Mansory exhaust, I mean, well, what's not to love? You look like an absolute, well, for the lack of a better word, baller when you're driving the car. And yeah, so congratulations to Mansory for building such an awesome thing. Bentley, try and catch up with what these guys are doing and take some advice. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to check out the link down in the description for Mansory's website, their Instagram, and also the Car Finder's Instagram for the gentleman who's very kind enough to bring the car for us today. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys soon. Cheers.